and welcome to the Padrecast episode 2. The bell just rang. I hope that that's not picking up on the recording. I'm here with Isaac Margolis.
Hello, Padres. How are you guys doing today?
And so Isaac, you are a senior here.
That is correct.
At Sarah. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do here first?
So what I do at Sarah is that I'm a member of Encounter. I've been a Big Brother last year, and I wanted to just keep being involved with campus ministry. Mm-hmm. So I asked Mr. Burns, what's the next step? And he said Encounter. So I said, okay, I'll do that. Uh-huh. And I just appreciate every moment I have with Encounter because it's honestly other than just keeping me just sitting at home doing almost nothing but homework, it's also a really good way to interact with other students and get to know them better.
Do you want to explain what Encounter is?
So Encounter is, I can't really find words to describe it. It's basically being more connected to your faith, and there's a whole bunch of confidential stuff that goes with Kairos, how you want to keep that sort of confidentiality. Mm-hmm. And shoot, I'm not too sure.
Well, Encounter. I guess in the most clinical sense, it's a program that you do your senior year, and it's we have leadership programs here at Sarah. Okay, I had to burp.
It's okay.
We have leadership programs here at Sarah. So when you're a junior, you can do the Big Brother program where you're kind of in charge of in charge of, but you have a group of freshmen you lead advisories with, and when you're senior year, you can kind of step that up to Encounter, which is a little more involved. Mm-hmm. You can still lead advisories, but you one of the big things is that it opens up you to leading a Kairos, which a Kairos is a retreat that we do. There's 3 of them a year, and you can't really talk. Can't talk about what happens on Kairos.
What happens at Kairos stays
It's kind
Kairos.
of a secretive thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it was without revealing too much. How was your Kairos experience?
I would say my Kairos experience was a good way for me to just be more in touch with myself and just feel more, just like how Encounter, how you want to be connected towards your faith. I feel like Kairos is a good way to be more connected towards yourself. Yeah. And it's one thing I will say is that there's a lot of reflection, and
yes,
yeah, and that's the biggest moment that you'll ever have when you go on Kairos, to really think about what you've done, everything you've done in your own past to get it to the point that you're at whenever you're in for Sarah. But it's a really good self-reflection, I will say that. But there's a lot more. But that's the tiny detail that I can give you. I can't spoil too much because whatever happens on Kairos must stay within Kairos.
Yeah, it's horrifying. You can't speak about it. I had a interesting experience on Kairos. It's definitely really reflective, and I guess for me, when I get reflective, I get really down. So when I got back from Kairos, I felt kind of, I guess, bad. Just, feel free to eat. Isaac's eating. This is lunchtime we're recording this at. I felt kind of bad when I got back from Kairos just because I had a lot of stuff on my mind. And then afterwards, I bounced. I think in the long run, it was definitely really good for me. I can actually see the changes in my life that it made. I don't want to sound too corny.
Yeah, but you said it. You definitely said it.
Yeah. So that's anything else you do at Sarah?
I've done golf for 2 years. I started in sophomore year, and then I did junior year. Even though people say golf isn't a sport, trust me, it is, because we have banners of them.
Something my dad says. It's if you could smoke cigars while you're doing it, it's not a sport. But you guys can't smoke cigars because you're underage, so it's only it's a sport until you're 21.
Yeah, they show cornhole on ESPN. So
what is cornhole?
Cornhole's when you have these little beanbags and you have the wooden plank
with a hole. Beanbag toss?
It's the beanbag carnival game toss.
You show that on ESPN?
Yeah, and they
When?
I saw it a few months ago. My dad was turning on the channels to watch the Eagles game. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Eagles game. It was my dad always. Whenever my dad turns on the TV, is mainly to watch the Eagles game. But he was scrolling through channels, and he passed by ESPN, and then there was this cornhole championship, and I'm like, what?
That's like the it's 11.
Okay.
That's like the arm wrestling.
Yeah.
You know, competitive arm wrestling.
Yeah.
That's like hard to watch.
But the thing is that for cornhole, you just
toss.
You just toss a beanbag into a hole.
If you talk to anyone who's like a cornhole pro, anyone who's like D1, I'm sure they'll give you like a whole thing about like, no, it's more than a sport. It's like, you know, I'm sure that they grew up in like a low income family, and they're like, oh, my one shot out of here is the cornhole. It's the pro cornhole league.
It's like they tell some very inspirational, motivating story. It's like, everything in my life has revolved around cornhole.
That's how I got to cornhole. Where's it? Golf. How'd you get in? Why'd you pick golf?
I picked golf because when I was a freshman, I wanted to play another sport other than basketball and football and all the other sports I played. So I asked my dad, what's a sport that he used to play when he was much younger? And he said, I used to play golf for high school.
Okay.
And from that, I decided to commit to being a golfer for some time. Uh-huh. And I signed up for a summer camp, and I had the most fun in that. Out of my entire summer, golf camp was the most fun when I was a freshman. Uh-huh. So because of that, I wanted to do golf for the school. I was hoping I could make it to JV, but I wasn't that good. But I mean, Mr. Langridge, like, we were talking, he's like, you know, I don't think I'm meant for this. And he says, well, if you keep practicing and keep showing up to practices, then you can definitely make your way into a tournament. Mm-hmm. So I kept trying, and then I did make it into a tournament for JV.
Okay.
And that was honestly a lot of fun. Like, other than just being a very slow sport, it was just a way for me to get to know kids from other schools and just have fun with Sarah kids as well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would just say the main inspiration to why I started playing golf was just my dad.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I'm burping so much.
It's fine, don't worry.
I don't think
I'm eating, so we'll probably hear me.
Yeah, but you're not more. Like eating into the mic. You're not. I hope that. That was like a crunchy one. You specifically picked a crunchy one, dude. Like, we're already in this like echoey room, and you're like. Yeah. So was golf more of like a social experience than like, or did you like enjoy the sport?
I would say it was a really good social experience, mm-hmm. and well, I did also enjoy the sport. I'm probably thinking about doing it again, but I was thinking for senior year, I was thinking about trying to do shot put and discus, mm-hmm. which is track and field. Yeah. Even though seniors can't go to JV, they only go to varsity. There's probably a slim chance I'll be able to compete in the weekend games or just games after school.
Okay.
Dang it, fries are cold.
The fries are cold?
Yeah. You want one?
Yeah, sure. I'll have a fry.
Alright, there you go.
I ate like half my lunch and I'm pretty good. Let me just.
No ASMR.
We're gonna do a little bit of ASMR.
Come on, dude.
Hey, I want you to put on your headphones for this one. Turn the volume up. Turn the volume up.
Why do you do this to Sarah? Why?
I love ASMR, dude.
Why?
Did you not know that?
Who would want to spend 30 minutes listening to a video of a girl crunching up bread and then eating to microphone?
Well, okay, no, there's like a lot of different kinds of ASMR. There's like, I don't really watch those. I watch the ones that's like, you know, it's like
the mukbang.
No, those are gross.
That's the only thing that comes to mind with ASMR. But there's
kind of different.
There's like page turning from books. That's a nice ASMR I like.
You know what I found? I was like, ooh, you know what I really like the sound of? Is mechanical keyboard clacking. I don't own one, but I've heard them. I'm like, ooh, that sounds like really satisfying.
If you come on my streams on my own YouTube channel, you'll hear a lot of mechanical clicking. By the way, my YouTube channel is called Airbound.
Let's get to that. Let's get to that. So that's the thing that I wanted to talk to you about. Is you are, some would say amateur, we say up and coming, YouTuber and streamer. So elaborate on that.
Yeah, so I've been doing streaming since freshman year as well. I've started a whole bunch of new things in my life since freshman year. But I streamed video games. I streamed Jump Dash. I streamed Osu. And what Osu is that it's a rhythm-based game.
Yeah.
And the default game mode that it sets you to is that you have your cursor. You can either use like a digital tablet, like the art tablets, and you use like 2 special keys. You can set them to either A, D, Z, X, period, question mark, anything, whatever you want.
Yeah.
But that's the default that it sets you to. But I played the one where it's 4 keys like a piano.
Mm-hmm.
And I've progressed so much in that in so little time. But I've kind of taken a little break because my wrist is starting to like kind of hurt.
Yeah, it's like an arthritis game.
Yeah, I almost I was close to getting RSI at one point, or almost had carpal tunnel.
Really?
So I was like, I had to stop. Yeah.
You knew that you were getting close?
Yeah, I knew I was getting close, and I asked my grandma because she has carpal tunnel as well. So I asked her like, what are signs that you're actually getting carpal tunnel?
Ooh.
And then she said, if you feel tightness, like I don't know where this area is.
It's like the for the audio listeners, which is every listener.
It's like somewhere like in the middle of your palm, but more towards your wrist.
It's like the base of the palm in the center, towards the wrist.
Yeah, but my grandma said if you start feeling pressure there, that's probably a sign that you're probably gonna get carpal tunnel. It's like from Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, like the area where like his spears go through. Yeah, the same area on his hands. That's pretty much where you can actually get carpal tunnel. So I was close to one point. I was like, I have to stop because I don't want to have carpal tunnel because I want to keep riding.
When you're 17?
When I'm carpal tunnel at 17.
So if anyone doesn't know or they've never seen like Osu gameplay before, it's basically like it's a rhythm game, and there's like basically little circles will pop up on the screen, and then each one of them, they're like 2 different colors, right?
You can be multiple colors.
Yeah, but basically it's like there's different colored ones, and each color is like a specific key that you have to hit, right?
Well, the colors don't really tend to like what specific key you're supposed to click. Like the 2 keys that you set up are your universal keys.
Okay.
So as long as you're playing the Osu standard gameplay, as long as you press those 2 keys, you should be able to hit every single note. That's if you can actually aim and time it right, because Osu is also a timing-based game.
Yeah.
But the colors, like for certain songs, like if it goes from one vocal to another, it can change colors, like from blue, and it can go to green, it can go to any color. Because
people can make their own, they're called like beat maps.
Yes, that's correct. You can make your own beat maps, and
out of like any song or piece of audio.
You can do any song as long as you get the offset and you get the right BPM, and you time it right so your gameplay is not too, how do I say it? So just to make sure that your gameplay is not off sync with the actual song, because if your level is synced with the music, you'll have a really good beat map that a lot of people will enjoy and actually have fun playing because it's
made for that song, basically.
Yeah, click circles to the beat.
Yeah. So, but if you've never seen someone or heard someone play Osu,
you'll just hear
it's basically. I'll try and see if this catches. Just like constantly. Yeah. So I would see you doing that at lunch and like
the player will be hearing music and they won't hear their clicking. Yeah. But outside, like when people are surrounding them,
I remember one day at lunch, Coach Barry, like he saw you playing, and I think he was coming over to like tell you to stop or something.
And then
he saw it. He just saw and he was like, "What is that?" He just looked at you like What is that? I think you were still. It was actually maybe a year or 2 ago, because I remember you don't play with. There's like graphical settings you can do on Osu where it's like less busy on screen, right? Because I remember you were playing with some settings. I don't know if it was the map or whatever, where like every whatever like a character would pop up.
Yeah. That's honestly way too distracting for me.
Yeah, so you turned that off?
Yeah, I disabled it, and I tried using different mods. And you can use mods, like you can speed up the song by 1.5 speed.
Okay.
You can have the notes fade in or fade out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's Osu. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, because I remember you were doing it, and then like every whatever like point threshold or whatever it was, like a little anime girl would pop up. Yeah. And I just remember Barry going
that's one of the main things about the game is that there's a whole bunch of anime revolved within the community, but there's a whole bunch of like skins that you can download and it won't show an anime. It could just be a cool looking default skin like an overlay or a layout.
Yeah. That's Osu's a Japanese game.
Actually, it was made by an Australian.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
But I mean, he's a weeb.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's like halfway. I always thought Osu was Japanese. It seems like a Japanese game.
I will say the one thing that makes it Japanese is taiko. And taiko is where you have it's like one big drum and you have.
Oh, I played one of those at when I went to Crunchyroll.
Yeah, they have that in Osu-mania. Like instead of 2 keys, you can actually have 4 keys.
Yeah.
And the defaults are Z, X, C, V.
Yeah.
And the 2 note and C, V.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I meant X, C are your blue keys, and your Z, V are your orange keys.
Yeah.
Honestly, I find that really difficult. But I play Osu-mania, which is also 4 keys, and your notes. It's kind of like piano. Like if you've seen piano tutorials of how they show the piano and you have the notes falling on the screen. Yeah. That's kind of like what Osu-mania is, but instead of like what people can do with their with the maps is that when they press the key, it produces a certain sound. But most of the time, I don't set that to that because I'm just lazy. Yeah. But just to sum up, Osu, really fun game. Geometry Dash.
Geometry Dash.
I spent way too much time on that.
It's a game. Well, the only reason you spend time on Geometry Dash is because you play level, and you die, and then you're like, oh, that part wasn't that hard, and then you go back, and then you're like, you died at the 70% mark the first time, and then next time you play it, it's you only get to 50, and you're like, oh well, I can do and then you just go, and then 20 minutes later.
But yeah, it's just wash, rinse, repeat. Yeah. Wash, rinse, repeat. That's all it is for Geometry Dash.
I could have sworn Osu was Japanese because they make a lot of rhythm games.
That's true. Japanese do make rhythm games, but so do Americans.
Oh yeah, I guess with Rock Band and Guitar Hero.
Yeah, Guitar Hero, Just Shapes and Beats. Yeah. Also another really good game.
Shapes and Beats?
Just Shapes and Beats.
What's Just Shapes and Beats?
So you're this blue square, and you have monsters, and whenever they move or attack, it's actually synchronized with the song. Okay. You'll have songs. It's mainly a Monster Cat based video game, and what Monster Cat is that it's a YouTube channel that produces EDM, or it features artists who have produced EDM in the past, and they use songs from Monster Cat in the game or anywhere elsewhere. And I would say my favorite one has to be one of the boss fights. I think it's called New Game. It's a lot of fun. It's got it has the song New Game by Naturafun. Oh, okay. It's such a good song.
Okay. I was thinking that sounds like this is just something that only appeals to me. Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm.
I've never played Final Fantasy in my life.
They're really good. I'm a big Final Fantasy fan. Because I just like JRPG. I used to think I didn't like JRPGs because I played Pokemon Diamond and I didn't really like it that much.
How dare you say that?
Well, I'm sorry, okay?
You don't like Pokemon Diamond?
I don't know. It just wasn't... It didn't appeal to me specifically. I don't know. I thought it got kind of monotonous.
Speaking of Pokemon, what was the first Pokemon game you played?
Pokemon Diamond. And that's the only one. And for the longest time, I was like, oh, I guess I just don't like JRPGs. Then I played Final Fantasy VI, and it rocked my socks. And I was like, oh, I gotta play all these now.
Bro, have you ever had a Game Boy or something else like that?
I had a Game Boy Advance, and I had a DS.
Oh. I had a red Game Boy Color, and I had Pokemon Blue, I think. I think it was Pokemon Blue.
Original. Okay, wow.
Yeah, I think I still have it somewhere in my house. But I'm not going to sell. I'm probably just going to go back and play it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a cool thing to have around. Blue was then your first Pokemon game?
Yeah, Pokemon Blue was my first game.
What age were you when you first played that?
I was I would say I was 8 years old, I think. I think I was 8 years old when I first played Pokemon.
How did you did your parent have it or something?
My sister had it, and then she got a Game Boy Advance, I think.
Yeah, that was.
And then she gave me her Game Boy Color since she didn't want to use it anymore. And yeah, that's the story of how I got my Game Boy Color.
Okay, wow, very. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for sharing. What games do you play besides Osu then? Well, you kind of listed them. Geometry Dash.
Yeah, Osu, Geometry Dash. I tried getting into CS:GO and Fortnite, but CS:GO that's your classic FPS game where you don't have to build.
It's the purest one, right? Kind of.
Yeah. But Fortnite, I tried getting into it. I honestly couldn't because I'm not a fan of shooter games. Yeah. But it was difficult. It's okay, you have You have to build in order to protect yourself.
There's a surprising, like, it's weird because Fortnite's usually considered like, it's like a kid game. But there's like a surprising amount of skill involved in Fortnite that's like kind of unique to it with the building.
I mean, when you look at Nick A30, you look at TSM Daquan, who's my favorite Fortnite player. You also have Ninja as well.
Yeah,
like these guys are serious about their stuff because they're getting, other than getting paid to actually play the game in front of like millions of people.
Yeah,
it's also like they spend like tens of hours a day constantly on their computer improving their skill, and that's why they're so good.
Yeah, getting carpal tunnel. There's a League of Legends player in China, and his name is oh god, I can't remember his name. Something with a Z. Oh, Uzi. His name is Uzi. And he's like one of the best. He plays the position. His position is ADC, which is not really super important, but he's one of the best ADCs in the world.
What is ADC?
It stands for attack damage carry. He's like the main damage source, and so basically in League, that's basically means physical damage, and that's done through your normal attacks. And your normal attacks, Isaac just like took out his burger and he smelled it and he looked sick. Does it smell that bad?
It's something I wouldn't eat if I was starving. I will say that.
Wow. Okay.
But I'm starving right now and I have no other food source, so
I have half a bagel.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I can eat this. It's fine.
Okay.
I'm saving up some appetite because we're going to be watching Matrix in theology
class.
Oh,
you haven't finished it yet? We finished it yesterday.
We just started it last class.
Oh, pretty
So
bomb.
what I'm planning on doing is like either me or Angel, who's also another Sarah senior, we're going to rush to make a bag of popcorn and then bring it to class.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's so where'd you guys leave off?
What do you mean where did we leave off?
Like in the movie, what was the last part? Like about the halfway point?
Somewhere around there.
Yeah. The finale of that movie is, I've never seen it before. It was pretty high. That was a pretty bomb movie. He's like cautiously, what's the SpongeBob episode? Oh, where Squidward tries the Krabby Patty for the first time, and they get the little close up where it's like just like the edge of his teeth, and it just barely clinches onto like side of a Krabby Patty and just like pulls away. That's like what you're doing.
That's like dust that you just pulled off.
Just yeah. So in Dr. Buckle's class, which is a senior year theology 4, you get to watch The Matrix, which is pretty cool. And then we're like, so it actually surprisingly, we did a little review of it at the end. And it ties into a surprising amount of the concepts that we talked about. It was pretty interesting.
Free your mind.
Free your mind. Take the red pill. It's crazy to think like how influential that movie really is. Because like it's weird. I kind of got that with, do you ever watch something or listen to something that was very like influential, but you'd never seen it? You'd seen the stuff that it influenced, but not the original.
Yeah.
And I got that with like some like anime that I've watched. I think like with Bleach, which I don't know, like I'll hazard to say that Bleach was influential. I think it was.
Yeah. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but no problem. So you guys know, like we're anime guys.
Oh
so
yeah,
we make a lot of references.
If you don't know a lot about anime,
talk to us in class.
Yeah, talk to me in class, or if you're listening, open up a new tab. So anyway, I was really into this. I still am. This anime, more so the manga, I'd say, called Bleach, which was from 2002, I think. Yeah, 2002 to 2016. It had about is that 15 years? It had an around a 15-year run.
From 2002 to 2016?
2001. It's 2001. Yeah, it's 2001.
So about 15 years.
Yeah. So it had about a 15-year run, and it was one of the biggest shonen or basically like action series while it was running. And even while it was like the sales were declining at the end of the series, it still actually outsold like what like Black Clover does now. Which, if you don't know, Black Clover is a pretty hot manga. That's not the way that. No, I mean, like, it's popular. It's a fairly popular manga, and it's like one of the like new posters of the genre. And but yeah, so when you like watch something like
and then
that,
it's kind of, if you watch, like, I will say this: if you watch any show or any movie and it has like a really significant impact on like how you like live out your life, like in The Matrix, like it really covers like we're living in a fantasy world. Like, our world could be much worse. It's one of those things you have to do like a double take. It's like, hold up now.
I was actually just gonna say more so on like a meta level, like the when you go back and you watch like what the original is, and you see stuff that is like now maybe cliched or stuff, and you're like, oh, that's kind of like, oh, that's kind of like you kind of cringe because you're like, oh, I've seen this before, like what. Oh, this is kind of like not original, and then you realize you're like, oh wait, this is where it comes from. And like you have to like kind of turn that filter off of watching it from, you know, a movie from 1999 and 2019. I'm like, man, when this came out in theaters, I went and I looked up the trailer for it, and there were so many people in the comments who were like, this is like one of the best movies ever made. And there are people who were like, man, I remember seeing this in the theaters. And this one guy was like, yeah, my dad and I like didn't really talk that much, but we saw this in theaters, and the car ride back, and like when we got home, it was like we talked so much, like you got so excited, and I was like, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What are you thinking of for like a career?
1 second. I was thinking about either doing computer engineering or bioengineering, but I'm more towards bioengineering. And something I would do with bioengineering would be like making a bionic heart.
Oh, cool.
Like biomechanical heart. That's one of my biggest hopes.
Yeah, wasn't I think Angel was going into, who was mentioned earlier. We'll be getting popcorn with Isaac. I think he's going into the same field. He got accepted to ASU like last year, and
I think that was for like computer sciences though.
Who is playing the piano? What the heck?
It has to be someone in the chapel.
Oh, it's got to be the chapel. Okay, that's weird. I don't know if that picks up, but someone's playing the piano.
Someone's playing some Beethoven.
Yeah. Someone's going off.
It's a Beethoven type beat.
Right. Biomechanical or biomedical? Is there a difference? Are those the same thing, or am I making one of those terms up?
Biomechanical will be something that I would be doing. Like if I want to make a bionic heart, that would pretty much fall under biomechanical.
Yeah.
But biomedical is, how do I describe it? I think it's more involved with medicine. I think that's what it is.
So how did you what made you interested in that?
My mom and I, we've always fantasized about what the world would be like if we had cures for everything, like AIDS, cancer, diabetes, almost anything you can name. And like my mom would come up with great ideas about like if she was an engineer, what she would do to benefit the world. And because that's kind of resonated with me. Like I've always looked up to my mom, and because I've always looked up to her, I kind of picked up the same things that she really wanted to do. So, other than aerospace engineering, I would say bioengineering has
aerospace engineering. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know why it's even crazier? Because last episode, that's what Jack Dagoni said. Did you? What the heck?
I didn't hear him talk about anything about aerospace.
Yeah, apparently he's really into aerospace engineering. He wants to work at like NASA or something.
That's my mom's dream job.
Crazy. Where does she work, or what does she do?
My mom?
Yeah.
She's a senior project manager at Visa.
Oh, okay. All right.
She's really good. She deserves a pay raise. She actually does.
I'll believe it. So, yeah, someone's jamming out. I don't want to like leave too much.
Someone's playing. Oh, I know what they're saying.
Wait.
They're trying to play Moonlight Sonata, the third movement.
Whoa, do you play piano?
Yeah.
I didn't know you played piano.
I'm not good at it.
Oh, right. You were playing a bit on the Encounter retreat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was playing like anime openings that
Yeah.
a whole bunch of my friends asked me to play. I would say that Moonlight Sonata is one of the hardest pieces I know, other than Chopin
Yeah.
and Debussy. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Debussy.
Debussy, I think he's the guy who made Clair de Lune.
Yeah. Yeah, Clair de Lune. That's a great song. I thought of something that I can't say, and so I lost my. Oh, yeah, there it is. I hope it picks up. Have you ever tried to like transcribe an anime opening?
Not on my own, honestly. I don't think I have.
I've done it to the first Death Note opening.
Oh, nice.
Surprisingly, really easy. Like I told someone, they're like, "Oh, that's like a really like, it's like a fast song," but when you actually break it down, I just did the vocal melody because that's a single trumpet can't play like a chord because you can only play one note at a time. So I just did the vocal melody, and it's literally like 4 notes.
Isn't your T-shirt a Bleach T-shirt?
This is Soul Eater.
Soul Eater.
I'm in dress code. I'm in the Sarah Soul Eater T-shirt.
Yeah, don't worry. He's in dress code.
Don't worry. As long as you have like I wear a sweater over it.
That's true. It's as long as it's a plain sweater, you should be fine.
I love sweaters.
I love sweaters too.
Yeah, no, I love sweaters. Because I can wear them over stuff. Like if the laundry, gets, I don't know when the laundry's done in my house, so I'm just like, oh well, I don't have a Sarah shirt. Time to throw on a sweater.
Yeah.
And on a really hot, muggy day like this, sometimes that's like, ooh.
I don't really struggle with dress code. The only thing I struggle with is just shaving.
Oh, okay. I'm not.
Yeah. You have
this
much facial
hair. You've got like the 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Shadow.
Yeah.
I'd say you have like a 4 o'clock. It's not that bad.
I mean, and I've gotten detention a whole bunch of times just for shaving. I mean, for this, like what I have on right now, I could actually get detention right now if Mr. Peralta really, really got on my...
You know what you do? You just bring a razor to school. Just bring a razor to school. So that
I'll probably bring my Philips electric one I have in my house.
Okay. Because you can like half the time when I shave, and I don't really have very much facial hair growth. I have to shave maybe once every week and a half. Mm-hmm. But when I do, I barely even use like shaving cream. I just use water.
And you don't bleed?
Only once.
Because the first time the school made me shave, they gave me the razors and the shaving cream, and I cut myself everywhere on my neck, and it was painful.
Yeah.
And one thing I would say is very painful is that you don't really feel anything, and then you start bleeding, and then when you wash it off, that's when you feel the pain.
Like, oh. Yeah, and it's like, it's not a fatal wound, but it's like, I don't like this. It's like distressing to have just like a little blood.
Yeah.
You're like, you keep wiping it off. And you're like, oh.
And it won't stop.
Yeah.
And the thing is that since I have acne, and if I cut over my acne, it's going to bleed a lot more. And that's the one thing I hate about using the manual razors. Okay. I use a manual razor, but I don't, because my hair growth is like, I shaved maybe 3 days ago. I'm like, I don't really have anything if you can. Hope you guys are enjoying the piano music.
Yeah. We have some lovely backing music. So that'll be a nice addition once I get the music.
Looks like we don't need the music producer for the podcast. We just got this guy.
Yeah. Paul can shove it. Paul Mansfield. I'd love to have him on as a guest because he's a really interesting, like, just talk about like creative.
Yeah, he's a really, really creative guy.
Yeah, Paul's great. Mm-hmm. He's doing he will hopefully. I mean, like. These episodes aren't going up until I have the intro music, so
Paul, we still need you in a way.
Yeah, when you hear it, when you have heard it, you're like, yep, that's Paul. He's really great. He's actually in the Tri-M.
Is he?
He's in the Tri-M, which is our Music Honors Society.
That's crazy.
Even though he is not, I don't think he's in any of the music things, but because he just makes his own music, and it's good too. So, this interview's about you. This interview is about. Is that the air conditioner? This is crazy. There's so many like weird little things. The last episode we did, these two people just walked in. And, like these two staff members walked in. They were like, "Oh, I'm sorry." All right.
Wait. So going to the first question they asked me, like, what was it like coming to Sarah?
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's a great question.
What's your story like? What was it like for you coming to Sarah?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I actually kind of told the story on the last episode. But I wasn't originally supposed to go to Sarah. I was originally supposed to be a Bellarmine, and then my math scores were too bad, and so I kind of last minute got into Sarah. But so I was kind of down about that. But over the summer from like 8th grade, I was like, okay, all right, and we did the move from Illinois to California, and when we got here, I was like, okay, I'm ready to start. And I've actually had a really good experience the whole way through. There's a lot of really nice people here, you not included. I'm kidding, Isaac.
Wow.
I'm kidding, Isaac. I'm only friends with you for YouTube clout.
Wow.
For Osu clout.
Wow.
I'm only friends with you for Osu clout.
I'm probably gonna get on that GD clout soon.
GD?
Probably.
What's GD? Oh, Geometry Dash.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sorry. I abbreviate a lot of
Cool.
things.
That's cool. Do you watch any esports?
I used to when I was like in middle school. I used to watch like on TV. I would see people playing CS:GO.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, it was CS:GO. And I think actually one more thing about video games is that when I was going like for last summer, I went to New York, and when we were about to fly home, we had a 7-hour flight delay, and we were just staying in the airport. Thinking, okay, I hope our flight's gonna get there soon. And the thing is that the first time we got to the airport, we got a 1-hour delay, and I was like, okay. And then a few minutes later, it says 2-hour delay.
Oh, and it kept stacking.
It kept stacking up until 7 hours. But a group of people I did see was FaZe.
You did? You saw FaZe?
I saw FaZe Apex, I saw FaZe Banks, and I think I saw FaZe Tempur.
Were they on your flight?
No, they weren't on my flight. Like, what happened is that my mom, dad, and I, we were all sitting down at one table, and I'm looking around because I've never been to New York. Excuse me.
No problem.
But I've never been to New York, so I was like looking around everywhere because that airport is completely different compared to SFO.
Yeah.
So I saw a whole bunch of people, like 3 people wearing FaZe t-shirts. I saw iced out FaZe necklace, and I'm thinking, oh
wow, this guy really likes FaZe. Oh wait.
I mean, I wouldn't say I like FaZe as much, but I noticed that they had the iced out necklace with the F logo.
Yeah.
I was thinking these guys probably are FaZe. So like, hey, are you FaZe Apex? And he says, yeah, what's up, dude?
Wow.
And I was like, oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, I looked up to these guys when I was a very young kid. And one more person I actually did see when I was in New York was I'm Wildcat.
Who?
I'm Wildcat. He's part of the Vanos Gaming crew.
Cool. You met so many like. Was that also a coincidence?
That was completely coincidental. He was there for the Fortnite World Tournament.
Jeez. Okay. That's crazy.
And he was at the National Smithsonian National History Museum of Natural History. I think that's what it was called.
Yeah. Like the one from
Night at the Museum.
From Night at the Museum.
It's the exact same one. And I saw him in the area with like the T-Rex.
Yeah.
And he was just chilling there. I was like, what's your name? And he says, Tyler. I'm like, bruh. Come on. Are you serious?
No, you're not.
Yeah.
I am Wildcat.
And he was with his girlfriend Kelly, and they're really polite. They're really polite.
That's nice. That's cool. You met like...
I met 4 celebrities.
You met 4 e-celebs.
Yeah. Have you ever met a celebrity or an e-celebrity before?
I met Giguk.
Did?
I met Giguk. So if anyone doesn't know, Giguk is an anime YouTuber who's... I think he's really funny. I guess Isaac thinks he's really funny because his hands are in his face right now. It was at Crunchyroll Expo. It was through the autograph line. I got him. I'm gonna type out what I got him to sign.
Okay. Oh gosh, I think I know what it is.
You can't say it. This is what I got him to sign. It's my copy of that. I got him to sign something very funny. And yeah, I was like, because he talked about like his favorite anime.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, hey, you talked about your favorite
Anime.
Here's my favorite. I threw it on like the table, and he just laughed. He laughed so hard, and he was and we took a picture together. I don't have the picture with us together.
Aww.
What was today? Oh, last like a few weeks ago when I went to the last Crunchyroll Expo, I met Kimura Yu.
Is that an artist?
She is a kawaii ambassador.
So, for those of you who don't know what kawaii means, it means cute.
It means cute in Japanese. So so kawaii ambassador is an official government position.
Are you actually serious?
It's an official government position. You can look this up, or you can. If those of you at home who can't spell that, it's just a cuteness ambassador.
If you really want to get the context of it, just type in Google KAWAII. And then just ambassador. I'm pretty sure most of you guys know how to spell ambassador.
Yeah. So
it actually is.
So it's a government position where you go. So basically it's basically models who represent different styles of Japanese fashion, and they go to other countries to promote Japanese culture. So the one that I'm most familiar with is Misako Aoki, who is the Lolita fashion ambassador. Because yes,
that's her right there.
Yes, she's the president of the Japan Lolita Association. And because I love Lolita fashion, I do. But you don't like Lolita fashion? It's great.
It's never had any opinion until now.
Yeah. So Kimura Yu is the she's like the Harajuku like streetwear representative, and she had a Q&A panel, and I got to ask her a question, and she was really nice.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it's part of the cuteness thing.
Yeah,
the kawaii.
She's got like an anime coming out that she like did all the character designs for, and she's like she's like completely self-taught in like fashion design, animation. Really impressive actually. And her whole thing was just about like following your dreams, and I was like, yeah, this is so positive.
Wow, that's incredible. Like self-taught fashion design.
Yeah,
that's not something that my sister would have done if she was much younger.
It's 11:37.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, I gotta make my bag of popcorn.
Yeah. Okay. Real quick, this has been Taigen Irigoyen,
and this has been Isaac Margolis. Also, Airbound. Make sure you guys go on YouTube and find Airbound on YouTube. Road to 400 subs as of right now.
All right. So this has been the Padrecast, and I still can't think of an outro.
Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in to our podcast today. We will see you guys next time. Right. Taigen, I know you'll enjoy the next host or the next guest.
Yeah.
This is the Padre Talk. Taigen,
the Padrecast. Let me do the outro. Okay. Gosh darn it. Okay. This has been the Padrecast with Taigen Irigoyen, and I'm wearing pants.
All right. Thank everyone for tuning in. This is the Padrecast.
I already did the outro.